I had that pressure also coming from this family, also the pressure of Lolo's younger sister. Will she be, as
True.
good as Lolo, as successful as Lolo? How will it be? And of course, everything else was history after that. But I had my fair share of struggle, which is different, which obviously people try to brush under the carpet. If I demanded something, I have been replaced. It's not like...
Really?
Yeah, there have been times. It's just that you don't hear about it. People even now, they're like, oh, stepmom. Certain comments and people say that. And for what? Because I have no idea, because that's not the case.
Hey guys, so it's International Women's Day and I have a guest who I would like to introduce with one word. I'll not say it. I'll just show it to you. Unbeatable. Unbeatable at everything she's done. Unbeatable at everything she's going to do. Welcoming Kareena Kapoor Khan, who's been rewriting the Bollywood rulebook and how, only on Pink Villa for Woman Up. Thank you. I can't tell you. I want to give you the biggest hug for doing this. And
why? It's like a real honor to be on your show.
How sweet. I think it's a real honor for me to have you on this show. Kareena, I have to start off by talking about the person that you are. Has it ever happened when you felt that you were not treated equally?
I think that in this industry, of course, a lot has been said and a lot, goes on to be said. But I think that, in my situation, if I say that, of course, sometimes that you do feel that, maybe you're not getting as much as a male star did at some point. Of course, when I started off, Now, of course, a lot has changed. But I think I've been that kind of girl who's always still been confident in myself. I've never lost that steam and that confidence. That is something that, I think people just need to have that. That's why I tell everybody that, wear your confidence and wear it hard, because that's where you need it the most,
When you started off, you were one of the fewest, Kapoor Khandan mein, I think there was a norm that daughters were not allowed to be in movies. Karisma Kapoor changed that, and then it was you. How difficult was it for you at that point to make that decision? And what was the family's reaction when even you've seen Karisma go through that, convincing the family? How difficult was it for you guys to do that back then?
Actually, my parents have been really supportive. Like mom and dad both they're quite open to certain things, of course, and also much more when it came to me, because, obviously we had a generation gap then between Lolo and me. I just feel that a lot of people looked at me as Lolo's sister, which of course I'm still supremely proud of. I love it when everyone says that. I miss that when everyone says that, Karishma's younger sister, because, I think whatever I am has a lot to do with Lolo also, because everyone looked at me like, whether it was Amir and Akshay and all of Lolo's co-stars knew me because I was back, on the set. And everyone, I would be, lurking around literally on the shoot behind the camera, admiring her, learning from her, looking from, aspiring to, be there. So I think that, that was something that is just, in me. It's something that I'm very, very proud of,
True.
But I had my own struggle as breaking away from that, when you're attached to also Lolo was, the darling of the 90s.
I think she was the biggest superstar of the 90s.
Yeah, she was. She had 14, 15 blockbusters in a row. So I had that pressure also coming from this family. Also the pressure of Lolo's younger sister. Will she be, as good as Lolo, as successful as Lolo? How will it be? And of course, everything else was history after that. But I had my fair share of struggle, which is different, which obviously people try to brush under the carpet, that obviously she didn't have a struggle, which I don't know why, because it's just like, star children don't have their fair share of struggle.
But also so much is talked about, like you said, about nepotism today, but nepotism has also gifted us actors like you and Lolo.
I don't know. Obviously anything you say about it is just going to be taken in the wrong, in a wrong context. But, the idea is there are so many superstar children, I'm sorry to say, who have not made it.
Yeah.
So if you're going to say that if you are somebody's daughter or somebody's son and, it's not. But of course, it might open a door, give you an opportunity or something like that.
Yeah.
That, yes, it does. But, after that, if the door is shut, then what?
You know, also a different kind of struggle that you had to go through in the beginning was, I think you were on the heavier side in the beginning, and then you completely, and that time, you know, heroines were like only looked at like, oh, inko desirable hona chahiye,
yeah, like they had to be like very objectified. They were in that time. Till, I mean, like what, 10, 12 years ago?
Of course it was.
Yeah.
So was that a struggle for you at that point? Did you face a little bit of bullying when you were young?
No, I don't think bullying. I think that I was always very happy in my size and shape. I was I was slightly chubby, and I was always chubby even in the first film also, you know. But I was very like, listen, I love my parathas. I'm a proper Punjabi kudi. I love it, and I'm very proud of it, and I can't be any other way. And I'm here for my talent. Now I want to sell my talent here. I'm not here for anything else. And of course, then after that, the pressure, yes, of wanting to be like, you know, people are like, oh no, but she's very good, she's good in front of the camera, but you know, will she look good in glamorous roles?
Aisa bhi hua.
Haan. So then that had to be there, na? Because then eventually that glamorous thing has to kind of, you know, take over.
But even when you did that, you know, the good thing about people like you, Sonam, I think you look amazingly well wherever you go. But the good thing is that you don't set unreal beauty standards for women, because a lot of women are actually looking up to you. And when you say that you are confident in whatever size you are, and the fact that you do interviews without makeup and you go everywhere without makeup, it's a thumbs up in this plastic world. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't do it. I don't know. Maybe it's age or I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, no, I can't. That's why I'm like, everyone's like, oh no, interviews and all. I'm like, I'm not, they have to, if I'm very happy, please come and interview me, but I want to be in my jeans and shirt. I can't sit in a pretty dress and look like that. I've done that also.
But do you think that there are unrealistic beauty standards set, especially for women in the society, which they have to match up to most of the times in their life?
I think so now, especially because of Instagram and, you know, everybody having their beach bikini body. I think people are wilting in pressure of like, you know, oh my God, now from vegan and now I'm gluten-free and now I'm sugar-free and now I think we've all forgotten to just kind of
live.
We've forgotten the meaning of life. We are lost somewhere between this whole, you know, running behind the sugar-free and the gluten-free, the whole, you know, trip. I think people say that they want to be healthy, but it's not that, I think.
True.
I think there's just a
myth.
Yeah, just a tag, okay, I want to be healthy.
As a person, you have balanced it, you know, you have done films like Jab We Met and Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, where your characters have been iconic. Similarly, you've also been part of films like a Chameli, a Dev, an Omkara. Do you think in the beginning, people slot you in a certain way where they thought that, arey, isse to nahi ho payega?
Of course. They want to constantly, but it's good now because then people, and they have, you know, constantly throw challenges at you and then you kind of, you know, try and prove them wrong, and that was validation.
Of course.
You know, that was something that was there because a lot of people were like, you know, you can't do a role like Chameli, or just 22, you don't even know what it's like. So that happened. And then constantly it was like, you know, whether it was in Omkara also, it was such a stellar cast. And,
of course. And what a
beautiful
there was, performance.
And it was so much pressure that, you know, there was, you know, so many brilliant actors around. So I think I like to also have a little bit of that, you know, kind of challenge going. It's important.
When we talk about rewriting Bollywood rules, the first thing that comes to my mind is I remember this Coffee with Karan episode where he literally said that you are the highest paid actress and you had come with Rani Mukherjee. I remember who was a star at that point. And you kind of changed that narrative for women, you know. We talk about pay disparity, but you almost were at a point where you were paid almost as much as the male actors that you were sometimes even more than the male actors. Do you think the shift came in there? And you fought for it, like,
yeah, of course. I did demand a certain fee, and I think there was nothing wrong in it.
Of
because
course,
one has to, you're putting in as much effort, you're putting in as much time, you're putting in a lot, you know. So you want to get what you think
you deserve.
And then once you know, constantly, you know, prove it, then I think there's nothing wrong in demanding something like that. And of course, now there's a lot of discussion and hue and cry around the whole pay disparity and what is so-and-so getting and what is so-and-so. Now it's become such a, that time when I think I said it was, nobody was really even addressing that issue.
Yeah, but aisa kabhi hua hai when, you know, you've gone to meet somebody, the producer and all. Like Priyanka said in an interview that, you know, she met a producer who said, you are very easily replaceable because you are a heroine. Have you faced that kind of a comment? Do you remember any of the mean comments said about you?
But I think, I mean, of course, if I demanded something, I have been replaced. It's not like...
Really?
Yeah, there have been times. It's just that you don't hear about it, you know, because like I said, that we also have a different kind of pressure. But it's not like, oh, you know, but, and I've also especially always battled this image of having this image of being, you know, a diva or whatever. From where this came, which I think started with Pooh and ended there only.
Yeah.
It was like people, that's the way they imagined me, you know. So I think now people are kind of understanding that that's, you know, not the way life is. You know, it's not always just a bed of roses. So I think that there was that time that, like I said, with Priyanka and me worked around the same time. So there was, of course, that time where actresses were, if you not her, then someone else. But I think in today's time, it's a lot more different.
It is impossible, I think, because of actresses like you. You guys have paved that way.
I think producers, directors are now, you know, saying that no, we want to make this film with so and so.
But you know, addressing that diva tag, हर heroine को कुछ ना कुछ tag दिया ही जाता है. For you, it was the diva tag, and I think they tried to box you in that tag for the longest time. You know, because of Pooh, like you said. How many times have you heard this? Does that annoy you?
It annoys me.
Did you ever give it back to them?
Earlier, I used to. Now I'm like unaffected. Now because of course there's been so many years of experience where I think I've just become a lot more
mellow.
Zen.
Zen.
I'm in Zen mode now. After 20 years, if I'm not in Zen mode, then, you know, there's something seriously wrong out there. Yeah, maybe in a way I was very open and brash, but I was also like 17, 18 and, you know, like...
You have kind of changed the game for women when it comes to every kind of stereotypes that they're boxed in. How many times did people tell you that don't get married at the peak of your career?
Of course, everybody I met, like anybody and everybody. There's not like one person.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, did anybody in the family also tell you that, no, maybe you shouldn't be doing it at this point, maybe you should wait it out for some more time?
No, in fact, my mum was very relaxed. She was like, you know, if this is what you want to do and it makes you happy, you should do it.
You also always made your conscious choices, you know, that is something very important for any person, woman or a man. So, Saif spoke very openly about how he was targeted after getting divorced, you know.
Yeah.
You fell in love with him while he was already divorced.
Yeah.
Do you think that people try to like pin you as, you know, the other person, the other woman? Do you think that also happened in the society back then a lot more?
Yeah, I mean, people even now, they're like, oh, stepmom. Certain comments and people say that. And for what? Because I have no idea, because that's not the case.
Yeah.
You know, I don't look at my life like that, and I don't think anybody should either. In fact, I don't know why, or probably look at that word in the right way.
Yeah.
You know, if you're saying it, don't say it with a negative
connotation.
Yes, attached to it.
Yeah.
You know, because everything is not negative. It doesn't have to be, you know.
But the great thing is that the family is so united. You're there for each other. That's what matters.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And you know, I mean, like, it's fine, yeah. I mean, like, please, what is the big deal? I don't understand that, you know, everything is made out to be such a big hue and cry and discussion. I guess, like I said, that I think it's the digital age also that allows a lot of things.
Social media. Also, you know, when it comes to motherhood and pregnancy, I think you changed every...
nobody otherwise has seen an Indian actor
the way
pregnant.
people looked at it. And I'm not talking about actors only, I'm talking about the whole nation. I think that whole thing, if you are pregnant, you can't go to work.
Yeah.
It's your choice. You shouldn't be allowed. The fact that you said that it's my choice, you didn't say that you should work.
Yeah.
You didn't say that you shouldn't work, which is the greatest thing. You worked till the last week.
I remember. I was working.
Was that a conscious choice that you made?
It was, like you said, it was my choice that I made. It was something that I wanted to do. And it was not something that I was trying to prove a point to anyone. It was just that because I am used to working, I love my job. And if people are signing me and wanting to do ads or wanting to do things, or I was happy to do the movie.
Yeah.
So I was like, what is wrong with it? As long as I'm looking after myself, I think there's nothing wrong in a woman going to work. And for that matter, even working after giving birth.
True.
There are ways and means to tackle after maternity leave. There are ways and means to, you know, work, and, you know, of course, with a lot of help and family help and other help, I think that one can try and balance a work life with having a child.
And do you think that the notion changed? I remember that a lot of people said that actresses का एक shelf life होता है जब marriage मतलब शादी के बाद they become bhabis, they become aunties, and then after giving birth to a baby तो they are out of the picture कि उनको कौन sign करेगा, ऐसा सुना है?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I think that's very dated now. It's like, I mean, if it's redundant, I mean, it's like if any sorry, if any producer or director even says that today, I think it's appalling.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is appalling to another level.
Yeah, it's
but
like,
also,
I mean, like, please. Of course, I think that my decisions have changed a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
it has affected, it's made a slight shift in the way people are thinking now in the industry. Because if I did it, everyone was like, okay, fine, if she can do it, I can.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of left producers also like thinking that, okay, fine, there's nothing wrong in it, you know. And also, I think that it was also Veere, the kind of film that I
Yeah.
chose, that was so out there, a kind of film that was also commercial, yet it had, like, you know, a film about 4 girls.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that it was Anil and Riya also who had that.
faith. कभी किसी ने बोला कि नहीं, you know, you are at the peak of your career, ऐसा मत करो.
Of course.
Career खत्म हो जाएगा.
Of course, that all is always there. But people, I think, you know, should realize that also we're actors, you know, we're allowed to do parts that we like doing, which we know we'll enjoy doing. We have the right to choose, to decide that this is a film or a part that I think I will nail, irrespective of the length of the role.
True.
You know, I don't need, you know, 2.5 hours of run time to prove my talent. I can prove my talent in a single shot. In
True.
like one shot, if you look and you say that, oh my God, okay, fine, she's nailed the part. Or she's, you know, looked amazing and she's done this. So I've never had that insecurity or that fear. Why does it have to be slotted that, oh no, now I have to be the main lead or the heroine of this film? You know, I don't want to. I'm not thinking like that.
You're way beyond that right now.
It's not necessary that I have to be like, okay, no, now I'm a heroine, so, you know, I have to have my 3 songs, I have to look fab, and I have to look, my 6-pack has to show, and, you know, I have to be really cool in it. Like, I have to be like on the poster of the film. Technically, trust me, that's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not thinking of this, how will I last 20 and inshallah another 20?
Listen, 20 kya, you have to last another 50. And before we go, so we are moving on to the next segment. It's
Okay.
a game segment.
Okay.
It's called Women We Love because
Huh.
it's like the title, it's about women we love.
Okay.
So let's see how you fare, and there's a hamper for you.
Oh God, chalo,
See,
there's
I
a
love you so
hamper.
much. I love you so much. So we are back with मेरी favorite, आपकी favorite, हम सब की favorite Bebo for the segment which we call Women We Love. So basically it's a game. There are 7 placards like you can see. So you have to pick 5 and give me 5 of them. They have questions related to women and women-centric films and stuff like that.
Okay.
So you have, there are different questions. You have to answer 3 of them correctly and we give you a gift.
Chalo, for the gift. So that's 4 and 5.
Okay. So the first is a plot line of a woman-centric film. So you have to guess the film from the plot line.
Okay.
A dynamic young entrepreneur, Naina Sethi, finds herself locked in a hotel room with the corpse of her dead lover. She hires a prestigious lawyer to defend her, and they work together to find out what actually happened.
Which film is this?
It released last year.
It released last year.
It was a thriller. Very good.
It was a thriller.
Yeah.
Wait. Was it like Taapsee Pannu?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was Taapsee's film.
Yeah. Naam Shabana?
No. Just think of a Hindi word for revenge.
Yeah, Badla.
Yeah. She got it.
Yeah, I
but-
knew Taapsee was in the film, but I couldn't put the name together.
Yeah.
Huh.
This is a guess who.
Huh.
This is very easy. I was crowned the Miss World in 2000. Soon after, I debuted in films opposite a huge superstar. I got my first breakthrough role in a film where I played the villain. Today, I am happily married and still ruling the world. Who am I?
Priyanka Chopra Jonas.
Of course! What a film!
Yeah.
I think Etheraz was.
What a journey.
Yeah, what a journey. I think you guys should do another film together for sure. And
Yeah.
jaldi. Guess the film from the clues. ये तो मेरा favorite है, पूरी दुनिया का favorite है. ये तो मतलब you should be
Oh
able to.
God.
First word से ही पता चल जाएगा. 3 clues, okay? Bhatinda.
You can't ask me this, huh? You
Of
can't
course
ask
I
me
can.
this. Huh?
Of course. Hotel Decent
Oh God.
and Ratlam.
Now listen, now this anybody, if they don't get it, they can't watch this episode, huh? I don't think they
can't.
should.
So, do you think?
Obviously, jab we met.
Okay, name 2 films. This is a little tricky. Name 2 films that were named after the characters that Karisma Kapoor played in the film.
Fizza and Zubeda.
Wow! That was amazing.
Yeah.
Wow! Fine, 4 charm तो मिल ही गया है, ये भी मिल जाएगा. It's very easy. It's a guess who again. I was a child artist. Born to a famous Bollywood filmmaker, I made my big debut 7 years ago, and today I am considered one of the most powerful actors from the younger generation.
Alia?
Yeah,
Which film was Alia in?
Sangharsh.
Oh!
Yeah, she was
I
that
know.
little kid.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So you've got a whitewash,
I've
which is
got
like
the-
5 on 5.
Yeah.
It can't get better than this.
Yes.
So of course you deserve the hamper.
Oh,
And this
thank
is
you.
for you.
How
Love
sweet.
you for doing this.
I like goodies, so I'm
Yes,
happy.
But thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
doing this, Kareena, because I don't think it would have ever been possible without having you.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
so
having
much.
me, guys.
Thank you so much. It was lovely.
Thank you. Hi, this is Kareena Kapoor Khan, and you're watching me on Pink Villa. Catch my episode on Woman Up, because it's about time.